And then let's talk about where is this all heading? It's nice to know that our skills and abilities can be used for a time to loosen our mind from the ego, but what comes past that? What's all this stuff about the world's an illusion? What's all this stuff about none of it was real and it never happened? What's all this stuff about even before that, the script is written? What is that? That's so far from our everyday human awareness. Where is this heading? Well, it's just heading in the same direction where you have to let go. Kirsten and I, we've had some travels. Some of you have heard of the Columbia Coffee Park parable, where we were down in Colombia and we went out to this rural, it was almost like a coffee amusement park, if you can even imagine that. For us, we had the same reaction. It's like, what is this place? It's like a coffee amusement park, and they had little coffee stands with pictures of Juan Valdez, and we're just like, strange idea, coffee amusement park. But there was coffee all over the place, and you had beautiful trees and cute little things you could see. But we were out there, and on this one particular day when we went out there, Kirsten just dropped into a mystical experience. And she was very, very childlike, and we would go to the little coffee stands where they had different varieties of coffee, and she would look at the menu, but she looked over at me and she said, I can't read. Suddenly I can't read. She looked at, and she could not, and this wasn't in Spanish, but some of it was, but some of it, it was in English, but she couldn't read the English. And then she had difficulty walking. She had difficulty putting one foot in front of the other. Literally, as the day went on, I just had to just take her hand like I was holding the hand of a toddler, because she couldn't read. She went more into this place of not knowing what the world was and what it was for. And this was just an early mystical experience. There was another time we were at our friend Regina Dawn Akers. We were at her home in North Carolina, and we were all having lunch, and some of you heard the parable where Regina came out, she brought drinks, had made sandwiches, and Kirsten reached down to pick up a sandwich for lunch, and just as she picked it up, her eyes got real big, and she just started staring at the sandwich and the hand, like she'd never ever seen a sandwich and never ever seen a hand. It just stopped, and it just was. And Regina and I were talking, we looked over, we saw Kirsten just staring at her hand and the sandwich. And she didn't know what it was, she didn't know what should happen next, she didn't know what a mouth was, or a bite, or chewing, or anything. It was just, she went right into that moment of, I do not know what anything is for. Of an actual experience behind those course lesson words. Nothing I see means anything. That was an actual experience, a mystical experience of the actual meaning behind those words that Jesus is pointing to. And the world would say that's dysfunctional. If you freeze and you suddenly don't know what anything is, the world would say, ooh, you've gone into some kind of psychotic break. When actually this whole world is a psychotic break. Psychosis is a break from reality, and this projected perceptual world is a break from reality. Reality is abstract love and light. So you see the difference. This is where the tables turn, when you believed that what you were experiencing in time and space was real, and it's not. And love and light is real, and you don't know what love and light is, but when you have a mystical experience, the whole table gets turned right side up, and suddenly for one instant, you go into a state of a connection with reality. And they're very rare, and that's why they're dismissed. A lot of psychology, psychotherapy will even dismiss these things and say, oh, you had a psychotic episode, you were dysfunctional. But actually, it was a moment of becoming real.